Alright guys, so we're going to do another full face first impressions. I have some samples here. Some of the big products I want to try is this new Dior Face and Body Foundation. I have a sample from Sephora that I got with an order. Also want to try this On the Run palette from Urban Decay. I have the new Hourglass Powder, which I've used but I haven't used on camera. I have the new Prep and Prime Pore Stick from MAC, and then the Jouer bronzer. So lots of goodies. We're going to jump right in. I'm going to start off with this Bobbi Brown Illuminating Moisture Balm in Bare Glow. I got a sample from Sephora. I've told you guys about this before, but if you type in weekly specials every time you make an order, there are probably 4 or 5 options where you can get like a little sample size. So I got this, and then I got this. So you can get some really good stuff if you watch out. So this is what the Bobbi Brown product looks like. And if my camera would focus, there we go. If you hear a bulldog, ooh, this is thick. If you hear a bulldog snoring, that is the case. This is thick and it has pretty strong scent, which I don't typically love. Feels very moisturizing, a little bit nervous for my oily skin. Well, I don't want to say oily, but combo skin. Hopefully it's not going to make me super oily. Okay, so I am going to use this new Prep and Prime Pore Stick. This is the Pore Refiner Stick from MAC. I have used this once, but not enough to get my thoughts, so I'm going to focus this where I have the most issues with my pores, which would be my T-zone. I do have a little bit of, I don't want to say breakouts, I've pretty much picked at that, so it's my own fault. Okay, I zoomed you in a little bit. So this is the new Dior Backstage foundation. Let's see, this is Face and Body Foundation. I got 2N, I also got 3N, but from the reviews that I've been reading, it's saying that it oxidizes and it runs dark. So I'm gonna start out with this. Okay, so this little sample comes with a little spatula, and I'm just going to start applying this. I want to say this is supposed to be medium coverage. I'm hoping that it's going to have some coverage because I don't have that perfect skin and I need coverage. People were raving about this, but when I'm applying it right now, to be quite honest, it's looking pretty thin. So going in with a beauty blender. I'm not seeing much coverage. Like this, to me, this would be light coverage. Okay, so this is what it looks like with one light layer. This is definitely not enough coverage for me because I don't have really clear skin with just a little bit of redness here or a little bit here. I have an overall ruddy appearance, so like I have rosacea. So I'm gonna take my beauty blender, I put some on the back of my hand, and I'm gonna try to kind of build up the coverage. If this doesn't work, we might try a brush. This would be fine for me, like if I was going to the gym or whatever, but for full glam, I need more. Okay, it's building for sure, but you have to wonder, this is a really expensive foundation, so, you know, am I gonna have to use, I don't know if the bottle, I don't think the bottle has a pump. This is just sample, obviously. I don't know, you know, am I gonna have to use like loads of it, and then it's kind of like, what's the point of that? So going in with more, so it's definitely building, and I do think it looks better. So maybe just if you have issues like me, you're probably gonna have to layer this 2 or 3 layers. So now I'm feeling like, okay, I can work with this. Okay, so here's what it looks like with 2 layers. I have to say, pretty nice, pretty dewy. I am actually liking the way that it looks. It is just nice and healthy looking. It looks really nice. So we'll see how it goes with powder and all that, but I'm happy because when I first applied it, I was like, oh crap, like this is just not, this is for someone that has really great skin. That's why I tend to steer away from face and body foundations. I just don't have perfect skin. I have pores, I have redness. If you have redness, you know it's like the hardest thing to cover, aside from maybe like dark circles. But when you have a general redness, it's very stressful to try to cover it because people will say like, why do you wear foundation to the pool, or why do you do this? And I hate when people shame people because it's like, when you have rosacea, it's a whole nother ballgame. Mine has actually calmed down quite a bit, but as a child, I was very insecure about it. I want to say as a teenager, when I look back at my photos of being a little girl, I had flushed cheeks and it was very cute. But when I became a teenager, I was very insecure. And then once I found foundation, it was like, oh my gosh, I could have a blank canvas. I remember being so jealous of my friends that had that olive skin tone, just like that beautiful olive skin tone. So definitely something I struggle with. I wouldn't wish it upon anyone. I really relate to like Casey Holmes because she just kind of owns it, and it's really cool that she's super confident about it. But redness to me is like the worst. It's just so hard to cover, and people will be like, why is your face so red? And you're like, I don't know, because I have rosacea. Okay, so moving on to concealer. I don't have a new concealer, so I'm going to use this Urban Decay All Nighter Concealer. This is a full coverage concealer. This is in medium light warm. This is looking like it might be too dark. I might have to grab a little bit of another shade. So I can't find another shade, so I'm just gonna use a little bit of Shape Tape and Light Sand just to offset that. Okay, so now that I've done that, I'm gonna go in with this new Hourglass Veil Powder. I did pick this up from Sephora. I used it in my last first impressions video, but my camera went blurry, so I'm going to show you again, and I like this powder a lot. I got a sample again, a weekly special sample from Sephora, and I enjoyed it, so I picked up the full size. So I'm just going to blend out any of my creasing here and then go in and set under my eyes and on my eyelids. When I see people that don't set concealer or foundation, I'm like, how is that possible? Not even that I'm super oily, but oh my gosh, like the feeling, like there's been days when I didn't set enough and I'm like, ew, like I feel like attack. I just feel like that would be so uncomfortable all day. So it's just interesting to me how everyone's different. So I'm just using my sponge and pressing this into the skin to set. All right, so this is what the foundation and the powder look like. I'm actually really happy. I feel like it looks pretty good. I feel like my skin looks smooth, my forehead especially, but it doesn't look dry. So I'm gonna jump off camera and do my brows and my nose contour just because I don't have anything new, and then we'll get back and we'll start talking about the Urban Decay eyeshadow palette. Okay, so I zoomed you in. I have some powder baking on my nose, but I'm gonna go in with this Born to Run palette from Urban Decay. I have no idea what I'm gonna do with this. This to me looks like the Shayla collab with ColourPop. I feel like it reminds me of that. Obviously this has more shades. So I think I am just going to wing it, and we're gonna start off with this shade Riff, which is a nice kind of transition shade. I think I'm gonna start with the M502. You guys, all my brushes are so dirty. I literally have like a huge box that I need to clean. I just have to find the time. So let's go ahead and start working this on the eye. People are really excited about this palette from what I can see. Ooh, that is pigmented. Okay, I think I want to do a halo eye just because I'm not too good with dark shades. If I don't do a halo eye, I just kind of struggle with it. So I think I want to go in with the shade Hell Ride right here. I love these type of shades, and I'm going to start doing the outer and inner corner and kind of darkening them up. So I'm using a Wayne Goss number 17 brush, and when you're doing a halo eye, you want to keep it low. So that first shade, I blew it out pretty high, but you want to keep your halo on the inner and outer corner low. You don't want to like bring it all the way up to the brow bone. So first I'm just kind of setting down where I want the color. You can almost just like tap it on. And then you can go in with your brush and lightly blend. You don't want to do any crazy blending. Okay, so now that we have that laid, I'm just gonna blend just a little bit back and forth. And I think I'm actually gonna go in with a little bit of Punk, and I'm going to just further deepen up those outer corners because I wanna go on the lid with a kind of deeper shade than I typically would. I steer away from really deep colors. If you watch my tutorials, I'm just not the most talented. I find that they're very hard to work with, especially if I don't do like a cut crease, because I just don't have a ton of lid space and I'm intimidated by it. And I find if I do too many dark shades, I feel like it gets really muddy. I'm just not the best at blending. Like this is like as dark as I'll go, and this is like pretty dark. So usually with this I would put like a you know, like a light shade on the center, but I'm actually gonna do something different just because this palette has quite a bit of deeper shades. So I applied that, and then I'm gonna take just a brush with nothing on it and blend out. This is blending really nicely. I'm gonna go in with the shade Big Sky. I wanna do something a little bit different. I typically would go in with one of these orangey shades. So I did wet my brush, and I'm just going to apply this to the center of my lid. Definitely go higher than your natural crease if you have hooded eyes like I do. Just looks better. And then I'm just gonna kind of maneuver the sides. It's just going on beautifully. And this is, like I said, this palette is deeper than what I would typically gravitate towards, but the beauty in that is that it's making me do a look that I've never done on my channel. Okay, so now that I've done that, I'm just gonna go back in with that brush that we used to deepen, and we're just going to make sure that we don't have any harsh edges. Okay, I'm going in with an M576, and I think I'm gonna go into that first shade Riff for the lower lash line, and I'm just gonna lightly blow this out just to kind of give me some warmth before we go in with the deeper shades. Okay, going in with my Wayne Goss brush and that purple shade called Hell Ride, I am going to use this and focus it higher up. And then again, going into Punk and the small M507, I am going to use this to really darken up right at the lash line. So before we go in with lashes, I'm gonna apply a little line on the top of my eyes just because I find that that meshes better with my lashes. So real quickly off camera, I'm gonna apply these new Flutter Lashes. These are in the style Shimmer. I already got some cut down so you guys can see, and these look really pretty my speed. So I'm gonna apply some mascara and the lashes, and then we'll move on to the face. Okay, moving on. I put on the lashes, they look nice, they went on nicely. So let's go into this Morphe 8L palette. I've been using this off camera, but I want to use it with you guys. So I'm going into the shade Donut right here. I'm going to use this to contour out my cheeks. So I'm going in with a Morphe R8. This is a really flat brush. So I use this to kind of place where I want my contour. This is if I want like a more intense. So I use that, and then I'll go in with a different brush like a M104 and blend upwards. You never want to blend down because then you're going to have like a muddy contour. Okay, so that gave our face some definition. So now I'm going in with this Jouer, what is this called? The medium deep, I don't know what the hell this is called. This is their new bronzer duo. I'm gonna use a M141. Now this is the medium to deep. The other one was way too light, and it does have a little bit of a shimmer to it, but I've actually been using this and I've been really liking it. So I just kind of mixed both of them. And I'm just gonna use this to bronze up my skin. I feel like this is a nice forgiving bronzer. It still does the job, but it's not like, it just blends really nicely. So if you do apply too much, you can kind of blend it out. So for blush, I'm going to go in with this new Melt Cosmetics blush that I purchased. This is in Nevermore. This is a blush light, so you could use it as a highlighter if you're deeper complected. I just thought it would look pretty because it has those kind of cool mauve tones. So I'm just going to apply this to the cheeks. So for highlighter today, I want to go back into that 8L palette, and I've been using these highlighters quite a bit and I've really been liking them. They are so pretty on the skin. They really do just look metallic and wet. So I'm going to use this shade right here, which is called Supernova. It's this one with like a peachy shift to it. And I'm going to apply this to my cheekbones. So when I do highlighter, I always wet my brush. So I'm just going to wet my brush with this Nicole Concealio spray. And I'm using an M501. I'm just going to dip in and start highlighting. This definitely has a pink shift, but it is so beautiful. I'm actually going to apply some of this to the inner corner. I just feel like it looks pretty with the kind of purpley eye we have. So I'm going to apply some of this Deja Blue from Marc Jacobs in the waterline. Okay, so I actually went downstairs and tried to take photos, and I was like, I don't like this lip color. So we're gonna go over the lip color again. I'm gonna edit that part out because I didn't like it. So I'm going in with this LA Girl lip liner. This is the Perfect Precision lip liner in Cafe. I do really like this, and I'm just gonna line my lips. And then for my lipstick, I'm going to go in with Stripped from Anastasia. I don't have like a ton of new lip products to try, and because we have this bold look on our eyes, I want to stay with something that's neutral. The lip color I tried before was just too dark. And then to top it off, I'm going to go in with this Kevyn Aucoin Molten Lip Color in Pink Crystal. I just feel like, why not? We're already going with that pink vibe. All right, guys, so here is the final look. I'm really happy with how it turned out, even though I had some hiccups with my lip color. Sometimes that's just how it goes. You try on a couple and you're like, something's not clicking here. So standout product, absolutely the Urban Decay Born to Run palette. Stunning, stunning, but beyond that, blended so nicely. Again, this is a darker palette. When I look at it, there's only about 5 light shades, but I think that's different from what we're seeing. A lot of palettes have a ton of light shades and not enough deep shades, and this blended so nicely, so beautifully. The shimmers are nice and intense. The mattes blended like a dream, so absolutely recommend this. Pleasantly surprised. I knew it was going to be good, but I didn't think I was going to like it as much because, again, I don't go for the deeper shades, but this palette allows me to do so, and I don't feel so intimidated. So love that. Absolutely love the Jouer bronzer duo. Only complaint is this is the medium deep. This is not dark enough. They need to have a deeper shade. To me, this would be like a light medium. So I wish they would have come out with a deeper shade, but really, really enjoy this. I really like the Hourglass Powder. Again, I've been using it for a few weeks now, and I've been enjoying it. It's really nice. It's not drying, and it smooths, but it sets. So I really like this powder. Quite pricey, but I think it is worth it. Foundation, I don't know my thoughts on yet. I'm gonna have to wear it and see how it wears throughout the day. I've been reading reviews saying that it hangs on. The coverage, I would say, is a light to medium. You can build it to a high medium. So I do like it. I'm gonna try it a little bit more, see how it wears again, see if I wanna pick it up. But it looks really nice and natural on the skin. To me, it doesn't look super matte, but it doesn't look dewy. It's just a natural skin-like finish. I think we're seeing a lot of that, and it's really, really pretty. Lashes, I really like. Morphe palette, I really like. Lip liner, I really like. So I'm trying to think if I missed anything new. The MAC Pore Stick is pretty good. I don't see anything crazy about it. I would probably still stick with my pore filling primers that I use on the regular, but it's not bad. So overall, there really was nothing that disappointed me today, but specifically the eyeshadow is killer. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know I didn't chat as much this video. I got like taken away. I have a hard time like balancing chatting and trying to tell you what I'm doing and telling you about the product. So I'll try to get better about that. I'm going to film more videos like this because you guys seem to enjoy it, and I have so many new palettes that I need to try them out. Not palettes, products that I need to sit here and try out with you guys and let you know my thoughts. But absolutely loving this eye look. So let me know down below, are you going to pick up the palette? What are your thoughts? Is there anything here that I tried that you've been eyeing? So thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.